So I've done some other beehives here on the channel in the past, just reviewing them, how easy are they to build. And funny story, over this past summer from shooting this, I actually became severely allergic to bees and I had to get rid of my bees. It was not a good story. Needed a EpiPen, visit to the hospital, completely blacked out. But aside from that, I still have this new hive that I'm going to put together and just give you an idea of what it looks like, how easy it is to assemble, and to see maybe it's right for you if you were thinking about keeping bees. Now this one here is from JubiNatural, and you'll see what the hive is supposed to look like once we put it together there. So I'm just going to open this up real quick just to get an idea, to see kind of what it looks like. And it looks like it's coated with the beeswax already, which is nice. Has these frames. The frames, are they already built? They are not already built, so we're going to be putting those together, and I'll just show you how that goes. We have the bottom board, so yeah, it is nice because it is coated with the beeswax. The wood does look like a nice quality. Everything is already pre-cut, and I'm sure it comes with the nails too, so this should be a pretty easy build. Let's go ahead and see. So it comes with the one deep and one medium. Along with the top, you get the stainless steel on the top there, so no rainwater will get in, as well as that bottom board too. Now, honestly, yes, I'm really missing having the bees. I did enjoy it, but I'm not going to take that chance. I'd rather just go to another local beekeeper and get the honey when I need it, and be a little safer. Now, I did keep my bee suit just in case I'm outside for any major reason, and there's a swarm of bees, and I can't get away, where I gotta go mow the lawn. I'm gonna put in my bee suit and be safe. Get it, be safe, right? Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at this JubiNatural Beehive. So I'm guessing this is pine. It definitely smells like pine, but you can see right here all the different things. They are all that wax coated, which is really going to help keeping that weatherproofed, at least better, and really nice. So this right here is that inner cover that's included, as well as a queen excluder if you wanted to use that. Some people don't, but at least it comes with it, which is nice. And then we have that top cover with the stainless steel on top. Overall, just really, really nicely put together. Also came with these. I'm not really too sure what this is for. It looks just like some type of stencil maybe that you can spray through. I don't know, but there's two different sizes. So kind of cool. Maybe you want to just attach it to the different medium and the deep. I probably wouldn't, but kind of a interesting thing. Maybe you can use it in other places. So all this really just goes together nice and easy. Now, I've done a bunch of these boxes from other companies. They're all pretty much designed the same way. So pretty much you just line them up and then push them in. You could do it with your hand, or if you have a small mallet, and get it all lined up, and you're going to come back with some nails that they provide and nail it in place. But you really can't screw that up because they're only going to go one way. Obviously, they have an instruction manual, but you'll also see here there's some beeswax hiding. So if you have some trouble getting some things in, you might have to clean it up or just pound it a little bit harder, but really simple and straightforward. It's pretty tight by itself with those joints, but once you have a full box, it's not going to hold. So you'll definitely want to put either nails in. If you want to use like a brad nailer, you can do that. I've done that in the past, but the little nails that they use and include, they seem to be pretty good and easy to do and just go all around. So that only took me about less than a minute really to put together for that part. And then the frames are what really take a little bit longer to do, but it's just repetitive. Once you do one, they're all going to be exactly the same for the mediums and exactly the same for the deep. Now, from what I saw in the manual, they were not showing putting any of the nails into this. Now, other boxes by other brands, I have done that. I think that's completely up to you. My recommendation, yeah, I would get some brad nails and nail them in, because as they get heavier, they could shift, and with the weather, they could expand and contract. So I would still put them in, even though this instruction manual was not showing it. So you might have to pick up some additional brad nails for that. put on this front piece here, and then it has these two little hinges. We put on this little front piece here, and then it has these two little turning pieces that will keep this in place, almost like a little wood lock, and as well as a knob to pull it down. So let's go ahead and put that together. This doesn't look like it has any hinges on it, but it's just going to sit in there, and then those will lock it in place. When you need to take it out, you can just turn them and then pull this piece out. Now again, while there may look like there's a lot of these pieces, it's really repetitive of how they go together. So for the most part, you can just get started and push them together. They just interlock, and you'll know, obviously the longer one is going to be for the deep, the side there. So you'll know the medium is going to be about half the size of that, and you have the deeps. And I can go ahead and show you the other side here, so you'll see that is all pre-cut, and you just probably have to just work it a little bit. And there you go. And that's what the nails are going to be for, because these will definitely come apart once they're really heavy. So you definitely want nails in those, and those are included. So we're going to pop some of the nails right in the top there. Now this one, I just took it out. Oh, that's not going to fit, because you'll see that the bottom is cut smaller. What we want to do is, before we put that other bottom piece on, is we're going to go ahead, get this in place here, line it in. Looks good. There's another cut on the other side there, and this might take a little bit to line it up. Not a big deal. So you just pop it in place as needed, and you can see it's going to move around a little bit until you hammer it in place. It has a little play in it, which is okay. We're pretty much ready to go. All right, so these are the little nails that come with it, and I just want to make sure everything's lined up. And this is where it becomes just a little bit more tedious. So if you have someone that can help you with this, that would be great. Or in previous ones, I just used an 18 gauge brad nailer. Seemed to work fine for me. These ones may be a little bit longer, or they may catch. They might be actually a little bit thicker than what a brad nail would be, but I found that those work pretty good. Some people will also put glue, like a wood glue or something, if you feel like they're really going to come apart. It's completely up to you, but they do include these nails with it. So being that that's included, if you can take the time and you can get someone to help you, this is probably the even better way to go. I mean, really, just putting a frame together, once you get one down and you have all the pieces separated, you could probably just do it a minute, 2 minutes each. If you want to do like a little assembly line, you can do that as well. So there you go. There's a frame right there, and that's just going to drop into that deep and be all set. So every other deep frame is going to be the same way. The mediums, same deal, just a different side piece. It's just going to be shorter. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to build just a few of these and show you exactly what this setup looks like to see if it's right for you. And these ones, you do want to be just a little bit careful, because if you struggle and turn it too much, you don't want to break anything, because it is a smaller piece of wood. So just keep that in mind when you're working with that. To use some caution. So don't be like, oh no, I gotta take the whole thing apart or anything like that. Good, that's that one. Let's go ahead, get these 4 nails out, ready to rock. But it works. So you can see there, as I was moving, it kind of popped out. Just slide it back in. It goes right back into that track, which is awesome. It also makes it easy, so in the future, you really don't have to take these whole things apart. If you wanted to, you could just pop those out, those foundations out, and put new ones in relatively easily, which is really nice too, which is just why they make them this way. Not just this company, just in general, the foundations and the frames. So pop that down right into that track there. That's why if you have like a little assembly line, even if it's one other person helping you, it makes it so much easier to just go through this and get this done. You can really get them done quickly, because they are just the same thing over and over again. even if you buy other ones, if you need to replace it or whatever it is, they're all pretty much going to be the same exact process. So once you know it one time, you will be the expert on building these things. That. I just got 2 more. And then I'm going to go ahead and load them in the box. It's not really clear, I get it, where these go in the box. So I'm thinking they go behind the door, I guess. So the door can't go in, but you can kind of look into the hive. That's going to be my guess, and that's what I'm going to go with. So that's where the door is. My guess is this goes here to cover it. That way it can't go in, but you can take this off from the front and you can kind of look at that first frame if you want to do it that way without taking the top apart. I don't know if I would ever use that, but kind of a interesting and cool feature. So let me go ahead and just screw these in place. But that would be my only guess. The instruction manual only says what products come or what pieces come with it. It doesn't really say what anything is. And just obviously be careful putting that in place because that is like acrylic. So if you go too hard on that, you're definitely going to crack it. So be careful. All right, so that's in place. If I were to do this. Hello, bees. Hello. Put it back. Lock them in place. Definitely an interesting feature. I'm going to go ahead and finish screwing that in. Now you have your handles on the side there. You have that opening on this side. And then we do have our reducer that you can put in place as you need, whichever way you want to use that. And then we have the deep here, and we built 2 of these frames. So we go ahead and just take a look. Fits nice and snug. Have a little bit of room, a little bit of play in there, which is nice. And you do have your rails along the side, which that's going to sit on. So that's perfect. I'm going to go ahead, put another one in, and then we can keep putting in the rest of them to fill this box up. Now, once that box is done, now if you want to use that queen excluder as you're doing this, if that's something you want to do, totally up to you. Ask a mentor what they recommend, but I never used it when I was keeping the bees. We'll go ahead here. Actually, you know what? What I'm going to do here is I'm going to slide these, and that way, I guess that just kind of sits there. Kind of weird there's no hinge on it or other lock. And I'll go ahead, put the other one on top here. Let's see that. It's all set. Yeah, grab this one. And then this one's just going to sit right on top of there. Fits nicely. Perfect right in the spot there. And we're going to fill those up as well. Very cool. We want to do our inner lid. You can do that, and then come back, and we can get our top lid, which fits over the top of the box, which is really nice, which is how they should be to help stop any water possibly getting inside of the hive. So you'll get an idea of what this JubiNatural hive looks like with the deep and the medium. It's really easy to put together. I love that it has all this beeswax already on a lot of this. There are some little spots maybe that have been missed, but overall it's pretty good. If you want to get some additional beeswax and coat it, you can do that. Or if you want to paint it, that's also an option too. I don't know how well it will stick to that, but otherwise it's really set for being outside and a good amount weatherproofed. Now, building everything from the box itself and the frames, it is extremely simple, very minimal, extremely minimal tools. All you really need is just a hammer, because everything else is going to come with it, and you can just use either a mallet to just pop these together, or just really use your fist and do it. But you'll see what that is. Putting these together, this will be filled up with all of those frames and the foundations that are included to get you going with beekeeping. But I would say the overall quality and ease of build is really great, especially for a beginner beekeeper. I really like it that it's coated, super simple to put together. Only really need a hammer to put it together, and that's really about it. And yeah, I guess a screwdriver too. So overall, what do I think about the JubiNatural Beehive here? I think it's a really nice build, great for a beginner that wants to get into beekeeping. Now, these window features here, they're kind of interesting. I don't know if I would ever use that or not, but you can see, you can kind of see what's going on there in the hive. Put it back in place and turn them. Obviously didn't install that one too good, that's on me. But then same thing down here, move that. Oh, there's inside the hive, there's some bees. I guess it's kind of cool without having to open the whole thing and disturb them. If you want to just see how that end frame is working, kind of interesting. But it really does come with everything to get started. All you need, you can use a mallet. I just used my fist, but really just need a hammer and a screwdriver just to screw in some basic things, but that's it. Now the instruction manual, it's okay. A lot of the stuff that if you just look at it, you're going to see how it pieces together. So that's nice. The only questionable thing that I had was, where does that acrylic go? Which I found it goes behind these doors, and you have that little bee pattern. So that was pretty interesting, but it does have everything. It's all coated with the beeswax, so you're going to get that, it's going to be somewhat weatherproof. Now, some people will still maybe want to paint it or apply some additional beeswax, which is really nice. And the thing that I do like is that all the foundations come applied with the beeswax, where you can buy them in a store, but some of the ones online, they don't have any wax applied to it, which means you're going to have to do it. It's a little bit of a tedious process. However, I have found that with some of these boxes that all come with pre-wax foundations, that sometimes the bees don't always take to them, and you may need more wax on them, but they do look pretty well waxed. Putting those frames together, super simple. You can probably do it in 1 to 2 minutes each. Get an assembly line going, but otherwise, this would be a great box to get started with beekeeping, and you can definitely expand and add more deeps on top of it and just keep building up, and as well as a new hive. But this would be a great way to get started.